Hey Recon Beer viewers, welcome as always to review time. Speaking of time, it's time for me to review that beer that I was at the brew day for. It's the Amager collaboration beer with Fonta Flora Brewing, and the brew day. It's not brew day footage. It's an interview with. There is a little bit of brew footage, but it's mostly an interview with Todd Boera, who's the head brewer there at Fonta Flora, and you can see that there will be a card thing, and I can never remember which side they come out on, so it'll be up here, and then probably a link down in the description. So check it out. That was actually a really cool little interview. So, but here's the beer that they made. As always, I'm gonna try and get it in there. Yeah, there we go. Some more awesome artwork, and I need to be looking at the label so I can mispronounce this properly. It is called the Lady of Cofitachequi, a Native American name that I cannot even begin to pronounce. I have no idea. The side is actually pretty interesting. Turns out she was a chieftain of a tribe in North Carolina, where Fonta Flora is from. So the beer is named after her, and I'll put the whole history thing in the description for you to read because it's pretty interesting. So this is it's an IPA. It's interesting because it's actually a mix of Pilsner and Pale Ale, and then Carapil, so it's going to be a really light one. And then it's Amarillo, Simcoe, and Citra are the hops. And from taking a sneaky little peek at the recipe during the brew day, I know that it was a big whirlpool hop burst at the end. So looking forward to trying this one. It's hot as hell outside. It's almost 30 degrees in Denmark, which is way too hot for Denmark. So I am really looking forward to a nice IPA here. And I'm kind of interested to see if you can tell that it's both Pilsner and Pale Malt. I don't know. It seems weird to combine them, but anyway, what are you going to do? So check it out. Here's the Lady. I'm just going to call it the Lady because there's absolutely no way I can pronounce the rest of that every time. So here's the Lady in the glass. It's actually pretty clear. It doesn't have any like hop haze or anything. It's just kind of a nice orangey IPA color. I'm getting the hop aroma is kind of wafting up, but it's got a nice head. It's cool. It looks like a pretty beer. It's a really pretty beer. Ooh, it smells nice. It smells very hoppy. I get the Simcoe. Right off the bat, I get the Simcoe. I get that kind of really hard to describe Simcoe type aroma where it's kind of citrus, pine, dank, all kind of wrapped around each other. Very, very, very distinct to Simcoe. And some nice, some very deep citrusy notes. Some little bit of stone fruit in the back. Some nice fruitiness from the Citra and the Amarillo, and then just kind of a cool pininess. None of them. It's just a cool. Amarillo, Citra, and Simcoe. Can't really go wrong with those. Just smells nice. It smells like an IPA. It smells like your quintessential kind of American IPA. Oh, it's nice. It's very dry. It's not very bitter, and that was one thing I was thinking of. Is I remember it was a relatively small, I believe, first wort hopping of at the beginning, and then I think almost all the rest of the hops came at the end of the boil. So it has that kind of low, smooth bitterness that I've gotten from my own beers. Using mostly the hops at the end of the boil or flame out. It's it's not an aggressive bitterness like you're used to with some IPAs, but it's actually, I really like it. I really don't like them to be too bitter, and this has got that really nice bitterness. And like I said, it's a really dry beer. And then the hops there's a lot of hops in the beer, and you get that kind of tangerine and pine flavor that I kind of smell. Tangerine, I don't think I said tangerine when I was smelling it, but that's a word that my mouth came up with, I guess. My nose couldn't pull that. My nose doesn't have as big a vocabulary as my mouth. But yeah, it's definitely like a tangerine citrus with a definite Simcoe. I mean, Simcoe is one of those hops that I always, if you even wave a Simcoe pellet in front of a beer, I can taste it. Which thankfully Simcoe is one of my favorite hops, so it's not a bad thing. Yeah, really good, nicely drinkable. Just a really solid IPA. Solid. It's solid. Did I say it's solid? It's solid. Yeah, great drinking beer. Great beer from Fonta Flora, and yeah, if you can get a hold of this one, I definitely recommend it, especially fresh. I'm guessing that it's one of the Amager beers that you really want to get fresh because it's got a really nice hoppy aroma and taste right now. Oh yeah, so get it. It's out right now. It's pretty cool. If you can't get it, I would definitely check out Fonta Flora if you can in the U.S. Todd was really cool. I had some of their beers at CBC and they were really funky and interesting. So if you're into that kind of and they do a lot of cool local stuff. So check out Fonta Flora if you can. I wish that they had more beers here. I don't think they have any beers left here. They had a few for CBC, but yeah. Now I'm starting to ramble. So I'm gonna take this out into the yard and thoroughly enjoy drinking it in the sunshine. Cheers, guys. I'll see you around.